So welcome to Handson with Jota. So today we are going to take a look into Fastify. So I was taking a look into different frameworks, and this is a framework that claims to be a very good one for different aspects. In between them, one of the main things that he says is in regards to performance. I think that at the very first glance, I will not go for the performance point of view to decide for a certain framework, just because at first I like to have something up and running, and then afterwards I try to iterate through the problem and measure and verify that the performance goes better. That's one of the last steps I actually take into account. But what I really like in regards to these guys is the core features. It comes with the following. It comes with extendable, is fully extensible via hooks, plugins, and decorators. You have a schema based there that's going to be working with all of the different endpoints that you have there. You can use in schema, and that's pretty handy because it's a common. That's true. That's something that I think that every time that you create a certain route, you are going to want to have at some point some sort of validation of the input and the output. Login. Well, this is a bit. Logs are extremely important, but are costly and so on and so on and so on. So they use Pinot by default. I don't know. I think at some point I'm not feeling so good with having something by default like a Pinot. I think that I will even remove it all the way. I know that sounds a bit crazy, but there are many different options out there for logging. For example, in my case, I use Zipkin, I use Open Tracing, I use Jagger, I even can take a look into the Google Cloud to see some of the different things that comes in regards to the logs. And that's going to be pretty much the same that you're going to be logging there. So by this I can even remove it without any cost, and then I will not have any cost to have it. But that's something extra. That's something else. In regards to developer friendly, I think it might be developer friendly. I will take a look into it. And TypeScript. I like the commitment in regards to TypeScript. I think it is a very good thing to have. And nowadays, the community of TypeScript is very nice. I think it has a lot of support for many libraries out there. Having this kind of commitment, it will help to have different kind of microservices out there or services out there that are going to have certain type definitions for those things that you want in the same shape. So I think this is a pretty cool stuff to have at some point. So let's go for it. Let's give it a try. Let's just grab some of these examples and let's try it out. I will create here a folder that's going to be Fastify example, and then I will init npm. Yes. Fastify. So I will save it as a dependency, and I will have Fastify with me. There we are. So we have here Fastify. I will also add here a touch of an index.js. I will just grab one of these examples and try it out. Just as it is. Okay, so here I see that Pinot is not by default, which is actually very nice. So you have here a logger true. So I regret in regards to what I said in regards to that the Pinot is by default. Is something that you can define it like this. So let's take a look into this. Okay, it's working at 3000. Hello world. You have there the log. And what we have is the following. You have here a method that calls the definition of the route that comes with the method and comes with the get, comes with all this information of the schema. Okay, so you have here the query string that comes with the type. Query string with name as a parameter, type string. Interesting. The response needs to be an object with a hello. Yes. Okay. So 200. That's good. And you can do some sort of verification here in regards to before handler making some sort of authentication check. 3000 is going to be listening here. So far so good. It looks pretty clean. I'm very surprised about it. I think that the code itself looks very, very nice, very, very neat. You don't have that much of logic. Everything is configuration basically, right? So that's pretty handy. And that's a very big plus for this framework itself, right? Not having to deal with different kind of logics there, just having these things by configuration makes it very handy. And not only handy, but imagine that you have different kind of services out there, and all of these different services are going to be doing the same validations at some point. Having this schema, having this kind of definition like this, will help you to have an homogeneous solution for many of the different services, because then these services are going to be working with the same configuration that you have here. That's pretty handy, and that's a very big plus from my point of view for Fastify. Good. Something that caught a little bit my attention is the query string. I mean, of course, it's a query string, so why will be something different than just a type string? It's a string. Anyway, that's something I just knocked my reading here at some point. Anyway, something else. Besides that, I think that the framework looks very nice. I will actually try to remove this guy to see if I actually have it like this. I would say node mon index, because node mon is going to make the reload of this guy all the time. So you have here a pre-handler. Okay, let's reload this guy. You have it there with the hello world. Hello one. There it is. It's working like a charm. So before handler, this is not being used anymore and is deprecated. So this is something that comes with the different hooks that you have in Fastify, right? You can use different hooks. And you have there also the documentation. It has, I was able to remove all the way the logs, as you can see. Before they were there, now they are not anymore. That's pretty handy. So this is kind of interesting. You have some sort of life cycle whenever you work with Fastify, right? And as you can see here, it says before handler was deprecated, you should use pre-handler. So this is something that comes a lot of different times with different frameworks and libraries out there. Whenever you have a certain life cycle, you have to be careful with which kind of methods you're going to be using. In regards to the following, you have to pay attention to the fact that some of these things can not be there anymore in the future, or they can change. So my recommendation in regards to this is not that this is bad, this is all right, this is completely fine, because in general, when you make a change in the life cycle of something, it's going to go for the good. So what I'm trying to say is that we should take a look, or we should take into account all of the different things that comes with the changes of the library itself when you go and use some of these different hooks, right? Other than that, you have there. So we already saw the logs. We already saw just the schema, the route, and it looks pretty user. I think that is developer friendly all the way, because the only concern that comes after all of this for you is going to be working in regards to the handler. And maybe you can do some sort of authentication or some sort of thing in a certain hook. But other than that, I think that you are going to be concerned yourself in regards to only those things that matters to you. And that's pretty handy. It comes thanks to the fact that you have all of these different things on top of the route as a configuration, right? This is what comes in regards to the hooks, that you can do some things before and after and so on in regards to a certain life cycle. Okay, you can also use some of the different decorators here in order to work with certain instances that you can decorate at some point. But okay, so far so good. I think that's pretty much everything that I need to say in regards to these guys, right? So far so good. I think it is a great framework, and I would choose Fastify. I would choose it all the way for certain situations. I mean, the use case for a Fastify application, from my point of view, will be in regards to having something that will be handling in a similar way certain problems, right? And you can do it by using these different schemas, these different validations, and that goes like a charm. Probably I will not use it because of the login. I will probably consider the extensibility of it, considering the hooks, and also the plugins, because it also has a lot of plugins out there. It has a community of plugins, pretty nice stuff. I will consider also the decorators I can use with this library all the way, and that's what I will use a lot in regards to this guys. Of course, TypeScript as well. I know I open my Beam here. I just try to. Sometimes I feel a bit nostalgic and I open one of these Beam, but that's not mean by any reason that I will use it for a bigger development, right? I think that I can use it as well, but I think that for some things, having an IDE that works with some of the different TypeScript and some of the different types on helps a bit more to have something like that. I can do a lot of things with this anyway. I can use some of the different plugins and so on. I have everything installed for that, but that's another matter. That doesn't come to any solution in regards to this. The fact is that Fastify is great. Enjoy it and give it a chance. I think it is a very good thing to try it out. I really enjoyed a lot and have a good one. Enjoy. If you like this video, just give it a like and just subscribe to the channel. I think we are going to come up with some sort of comparisons in regards to different frameworks that are out there. So have a good one. Enjoy. Till next time.